What we are is a company that creates, develops, makes mission-critical communication solutions for our first responders, which is the police, predominantly the police, fire and ambulance services, but also communication solutions for businesses. We were founded back in 1928, so that means almost 100 years of creating and innovating communication technology. Just to take you on a small trip down memory lane, Motorola were the company that brought the first words from the moon to the earth. We've, throughout our 90-year history, innovated technology, and today, as I said, we are focused on communication solutions for governments and for businesses. Why is that important? Well, it's very important when incidents happen that our first responders are capable of communicating with each other across the different agencies. That's important to ensure the safety of the citizens in any country. That enables our first responders to get the right information at the right time so they can actually act accordingly to it. If we look a little bit on our scale today, Motorola Solutions is a global company. We have a yearly turnover of approximately $6.4 billion. We are growing our business every year. We're growing organically, meaning on the technology that we develop ourselves, but we're also growing through acquisitions, meaning that we acquire a company that develops technology that we want to add to our portfolio to make it even more complete. We are present in more than 100 countries. We have more than 100,000 customers, and we have sold more than 12,000 radio networks across the globe. Today in Europe, we have nationwide systems in countries like Norway, in Denmark, the United Kingdom, and also here in Romania, we have a TETRA network in operation, which helps keep the citizens of Romania safe. If we look a little bit on our product portfolio, and if I start at the bottom of the square, the land mobile radio is really the backbone of our communication solutions. Land mobile radio, the standard here in Romania is called TETRA, is a radio network that is designed to work when nothing else does. Like I said a couple of times now, it's the first responders, police, ambulance services, and fire that communicate across it. And when I say it's designed to work when nothing else does, it is because other communication systems, other networks, for instance the ones that your mobile devices, your phones communicate over, those networks are not designed to handle disasters. So I can give you an example. In the event of a disaster, the first thing you would do if you've survived it, that could be actually an unforeseen incident, it could also be a natural disaster. But the first thing that you do is that if you survived it, that you start calling your loved ones, your family, your friends. The next thing you do is you start taking pictures, you stream video clips across the different platforms. And what happens is that the network is not designed to cope with that kind of pressure, that kind of capacity. The TETRA network, however, is designed exactly for those incidents. It got the capacity, it has the coverage, and it has the robustness and resilience to work when nothing else does. So that's, like I said, that's the backbone of voice communication. Voice is still the most important mean of communication in a disaster for our first responders. That being said, Motorola is not a company that's only focused on one communication technology. We spread across. We're also looking into the future, which is why we, on top of our LMR platform, have our LTE broadband solutions. LTE, you might also know it as 4G, has a far bigger data bandwidth. So in those solutions, you will actually be able to take videos, stream videos, and do a lot of things that will make the first responders even more capable of helping us in times of needs. Tunde, my colleague, will take you through that at a later stage. On top of that, we also have our command and control solutions. That's basically, you could say, it's the brain in the system. That's where the coordination is taking place. So that's the kind of the back office where you can communicate with the people in the front line. Video surveillance is also a technology that we are looking into, but video surveillance without video analytics is not as efficient. Video surveillance basically gives you a lot of data, but you need the analytics, the software to actually analyze the video so you get an actionable output out of it. It's all brought together by our managed services and support services. Managed service means in this context that we as a company can supply the solution as a service. So in essence, our customers really don't have to own the asset. We deliver it, we can build it in country, and we can deliver it all as a managed service. In other instances, we deliver support services, which is where the customer holds some of the responsibility. We have some of the responsibility, but we kind of share the responsibility, we can say. So, like I said, land mobile radio is really at the heart of what we do. I talked about it being designed to work when nothing else does. And what it really is highly robust radio networks, but also the terminals. So that means those are terminals like the radio I have here, and it's designed to work every time you push this button, the voice comes through. So you can communicate. You also have a red button on it. If you push that one, all your colleagues know that you're in trouble and they will come and help you. These are devices, as I said, that are designed to work in every kind of environment. It can be a riot, it can be in times of a natural disaster. And it's also designed to work in direct mode, meaning that you can communicate from radio to radio, even in the unlikely event that you should get outside of coverage. As you can see, it's not a smartphone. It's very robust. So that means that you can do a lot of harm to this one, and it will still work. I have seen examples of radios that has crashed with helicopters, and although they're almost melted, this button still works. Again, I'd like to show you a small testimonial, because one thing is I say that it works when nothing else works, but this is actually a statement from one of our customers in the US, and it's around the Hurricane Irma that hit the Florida coast with almost a wind power of 295 kilometers an hour, almost 300 kilometers an hour. As you can see, and I'm just going to read this, in that time there were no sites down, no outages, and all LMR communications worked flawlessly. LMR was the only communication working. That's why. But like I said, we are not a singularly focused company. We are looking into the future, and we will demonstrate today the new technology that we are developing, and we're developing that to make our first responders even more efficient. So I talked a bit about earlier that we have one of Europe's largest networks in operation here in Romania. Today, or this year, is our 25th anniversary in Romania, and as a company, we are committed to the citizens of Romania. We're committed to deliver this service to you for the coming decade and beyond, next 25 years as well. Why? Safe citizens create thriving communities. Thriving communities generate growth for any country.